Martin Luther sent his 95 Theses to Rome, believing that the Catholic Church needed reform, and a discussion of his concerns was a start. At first, Pope Leo X did not consider the German monk a serious problem. But the sensation that the 95 Theses caused in Germany and all over Europe forced him to act. Leo asked his top theologians to respond to Luther's ideas. They cited 4 major rebuttals. 1, that the head and center of the Church is the Pope. 2, that the Pope is infallible when speaking of faith and morals. 3, that the Roman Church can make regulations for faith and life. And 4, that whoever opposes the regulations of the Church is a heretic. Pope Leo X then ordered Luther to Rome, but the summons was blocked by Luther's prince and protector, Frederick the Wise.
Frederick had exercised his power and his wisdom to keep Luther in Germany rather than send him to Rome. If he had been sent to Rome, we may have never heard of Luther again.
So, a compromise was reached. Luther would be questioned in Germany, not Rome. But his questioner would be one of the most learned men in the Catholic Church, Cardinal Cajetan.
He once described it as kind of the bad cop, you know, putting him in the interrogation room and sort of saying, okay, Luther, did you do this, and what are you thinking about this? And he's trying to break him, you know, kind of bring the big man in, bring the interrogator in, and sort of break Luther if you can.
On October 12th, Luther fell on his face before Cardinal Cajetan. The contrast between the two men was immediately visible. Luther in his plain monk's clothing, Cajetan in his elegant robes with ornate adornments. But the real differences were about theology.
Luther's view was, let's go back to the Apostolic Church, back to the Scripture. Cajetan wanted to go back to Roman law, to canon law, to the papal decrees, and the two of them did not agree.
Cajetan began with a demand that Luther revoke his 95 Theses and subsequent teachings. Luther asked to be shown where his ideas were contrary to the teaching of the Church. The cardinal said there was to be no debate. Then he cited the papal bull from 1343 that had set forth the issues Luther questioned. Luther was not satisfied with the quotation from the papal document. He maintained that it was confusing and unclear, and pointed out that the bull did not use Scripture properly. Cajetan then quoted Thomas Aquinas. Luther remained unimpressed, saying that what the Bible said was more important than what any theologian said.
Cajetan never produced a syllable from the Holy Scriptures against me, and there is universal agreement that nothing is mentioned in Holy Scripture about indulgences. On the contrary, the Scriptures commend faith and are devoid of references to indulgences.